Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Eli Lilly just released its first earnings report of 2025, and on the surface, it looks strong. Sales of its obesity and diabetes drugs like Zepbound and Mounjaro surged, beating expectations. But despite that, the stock dropped 11.7% in a single day. What went wrong? In this video, we'll cover 3 things you need to know about Lilly's latest earnings. First, I'll break down the key takeaways from Q1 2025, especially the impressive growth in diabetes and obesity drugs like Mounjaro and Zepbound. Second, we'll look at updates on Orforglipron, Lilly's oral GLP-1 candidate, including what happened during Q1 and what's expected in the coming months. And finally, we'll dig into why the stock dropped 11.7%, despite what looked like strong results. Let's dive in. Lilly reported total revenue of $12.7 billion for Q1, up 45% year-over-year. But what really stands out is the performance of key products like Mounjaro and Zepbound, which brought in $7.5 billion, a massive 119% increase compared to last year. So, what are these drugs, and how exactly did each one perform this quarter? Let's take a look. Let's take a closer look at what's really driving Lilly's explosive growth. At the center of it all is this molecule, a peptide that acts as both a GLP-1 and GIP agonist. It's administered by injection, and it serves as the active ingredient in 2 of Lilly's most important drugs. First, there's Mounjaro, approved for type 2 diabetes. Analysts expect it to reach $34 billion in peak annual sales. Then there's Zepbound, approved for obesity but based on the same compound. It's projected to generate up to $29 billion per year. Together, these 2 drugs are the foundation of Lilly's metabolic disease franchise, and a major driver of its future revenue. So, how much did each of these drugs actually bring in during Q1? Let's take a look. Let's start with Mounjaro, Lilly's blockbuster diabetes drug. In Q1 2025, it brought in $2.7 billion from the US and another $1.2 billion internationally, totaling nearly $3.9 billion, more than double what it earned in the same quarter last year. This dramatic growth underscores Mounjaro's dominance in the diabetes space. If this pace continues, 2025 sales could easily exceed $16 billion. Some analysts even project peak sales of $34 billion by 2029, an ambitious target, but perhaps achievable as manufacturing capacity scales up. Zepbound, Lilly's injectable obesity drug, had a phenomenal Q1, generating over $2.3 billion in US sales alone, up from just $517 million last year. With this pace, 2025 full-year sales could easily exceed $10 billion. Some analysts see peak sales reaching $29 billion by 2033. That's a bold projection, but not impossible. Zepbound is currently regarded as the most effective obesity drug on the market, and with manufacturing capacity ramping up, Lilly could widen its lead over Novo Nordisk. Of course, competition is heating up. Emerging players like Viking Therapeutics may challenge that dominance in the years ahead. So far, Lilly's obesity treatments have centered around injectable drugs like Zepbound. But now, the company is also making a serious push into oral therapies as an additional option. Leading that effort is Orforglipron, a small molecule compound that can be taken as a pill, not an injection. This significantly improves convenience for patients, which could drive broader adoption. And in Q1 2025, Orforglipron made major progress. Let's take a closer look at what happened. In Q1, Lilly announced the first ever Phase 3 results for Orforglipron in patients with type 2 diabetes. And the outcome? It exceeded expectations. Patients saw a 7.9% weight loss over 40 weeks on the 36 mg dose, compared to market expectations of just 5 to 6%. And importantly, it came with a good safety profile. This result marks a strong start for Orforglipron's late-stage development. Lilly isn't stopping with one successful trial. The company has launched a comprehensive late-stage program for Orforglipron, including both the Achieve trials for type 2 diabetes and the Attain trials for obesity. Achieve 1, the first to report, already showed impressive results, and that's just the beginning. If the 6 remaining trials yield similar data, Orforglipron could quickly become a major pillar in Lilly's metabolic portfolio. Regulatory submissions are expected as early as late 2025 for obesity and the first half of 2026 for type 2 diabetes. Lilly delivered massive growth in diabetes and obesity drug sales this quarter. On top of that, there were major developments in its next-generation pipeline, especially Orforglipron. So why did the stock crash right after earnings? Despite all the good news, shares plunged 11.7% in a single day. There is a key reason behind this sell-off. Let's break them down. Before diving into the detail, let's compare the two key players in the obesity drug market. Zepbound, from Eli Lilly, is a dual GLP-1, GIP agonist and has demonstrated the most powerful efficacy to date, with 22.5% weight loss over 72 weeks. In contrast, Wegovy from Novo Nordisk, a GLP-1 only agonist, achieved 14.9% weight loss over 68 weeks. So Zepbound clearly outperforms Wegovy in terms of effectiveness, and many experts already view it as the most potent weight loss drug on the market. But here's the surprising twist: CVS, the largest pharmacy benefit manager in the US, decided to favor Wegovy over Zepbound on its commercial formulary. This unexpected move sent shockwaves through the market and triggered a sharp drop in Lilly's stock price. Let's take a closer look at what happened. Here's the first reason behind the stock plunge: CVS. In a major blow to Lilly, CVS Caremark, the largest pharmacy benefit manager in the US, announced that it will remove Zepbound from its preferred drug list, while keeping Novo's Wegovy. This means millions of patients on CVS plans will have easier access to Wegovy, and not to Zepbound, even though Zepbound is widely regarded as the most effective obesity drug on the market. Lilly's CEO called it the wrong idea and emphasized the importance of giving doctors and patients more choice, not less. But this move from CVS sparked serious concerns among investors, who worry it could limit Zepbound's market share growth. Despite the shock of the CVS deal, Lilly's CEO Dave Ricks didn't seem too fazed. In the earnings call, he downplayed the impact, saying most of the affected customers are small employers that typically don't cover obesity drugs anyway. He also pushed back against the idea of limiting options for patients and doctors, saying, "It seems like the wrong idea to reduce choice. We're not interested in one-of-one deals that limit access." In other words, Lilly isn't backing down. They're betting that Zepbound's superior efficacy will win out, with or without CVS. Let's bring that chart back up one last time. Zepbound's Q1 US sales hit $2.3 billion, more than 4 times higher than the same quarter last year. If this trend continues, full-year sales could easily top $10 billion. But all eyes will be on how things develop in the US market, especially after the CVS shakeup. This channel is one of the very few that focuses exclusively on biotech and pharma investing. We deliver timely, science-driven, and strategy-focused updates that matter to investors like you. If you found this valuable, make sure to subscribe, so you won't miss the next big move in this fast-changing sector. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.